This is the story of a group of new students who are shy, inexperienced, and often seen as easy targets by others. They soon find themselves dealing with a group of powerful seniors who constantly create problems. The real question is how these underdogs will survive in such a harsh environment. The story begins on a pleasant day. Our main character, the son of a farmer, is moving to a small city with his father. They are heading to a town near Bususan, hoping to start a new chapter in their lives. The bus ride is so rough that the boy begins to feel sick. Instead of comforting him, his father playfully teases him for being weak and tells him to freshen up. The young boy is excited because he believes his old village life is finally behind him. He imagines that city life will be full of new experiences, excitement, and adventure. However, he has no idea that his new journey is about to begin with trouble rather than happiness. He notices a large and muscular boy stretching his back in a very unusual way. The strange sight catches him off guard, and he quickly looks away. A moment later, the boy raises his hand toward him. Thinking he is about to be slapped, the boy immediately shuts his eyes in fear. To his surprise, the stranger does not hit him. Instead, he casually puts his thumb in his mouth and starts sucking on it. This unusual student is known as Fatty. His family owns a poultry farm, and that nickname has followed him for years. So, the story shifts to the boy's new school. At first glance, the place feels more like a battlefield than a center of education. Every corner seems filled with tough students, bullies, and troublemakers. As soon as he enters the school, he hears about a group of third-year students who seem to control the entire campus. These seniors are feared by almost everyone. Just hearing stories about them is enough to make him nervous. Around this time, another new student named Nat appears. Like the main character, Nat is also a freshman. Unlike him, however, Nat already knows a great deal about the school. He quickly warns him to stay away from the seniors if he wants to avoid trouble. The class teacher is also a very unusual person. According to Nat, the teacher was once a well-known gangster. After experiencing a painful heartbreak in the past, his personality changed completely. Now he behaves in a dramatic and eccentric way that surprises everyone. A little later, Fatai approaches the new student. He points out that they live in the same neighborhood and suggests that they become friends. Another member of their circle is a boy named Beck. He has a short temper and carries himself with the confidence of a local boss. When the main character tries to be friendly with him, Beck completely ignores him. Despite his attitude, Beck and Fatai have been close friends since childhood. Their simple goal in life is to either study quietly or get some peaceful sleep. Everything seems normal until a loud noise suddenly echoes from the upper floor of the school. The sound instantly grabs everyone's attention and leaves many students startled. However, Beck is not the type of person to stay silent. Without showing any fear, he shouts toward the upper floor and tells the third-year students to keep the noise down. The entire school suddenly goes quiet. Moments later, the feared seniors begin making their way downstairs. They arrive looking angry and irritated. Scanning the crowd, they demand to know who is bold enough to shout at them. However, Beck remains completely unfazed by their attitude. Instead of backing down, he tells them to stop acting tough and speak directly if they have something to say. He openly states that students who bully others do not deserve respect. Realizing that the situation could quickly turn into a serious fight, Fatai steps in and tries to calm Beck down. After all, he does not want trouble on his very first day. The seniors become annoyed and attempt to push Fatty aside. However, Fatai is so big and strong that they cannot even move him. Just then, the unusual class teacher arrives and immediately stops the confrontation. To maintain order, the teacher introduces a new system and creates a special team consisting of the three boys. Fatai is appointed as the class leader. Beck becomes the vice leader and is given the responsibility of protecting weaker students. The hero is assigned the role of strategist and is expected to deal with issues involving the third-year students. From that day forward, the three boys become close friends and form a strong team. As time passes, their friendship grows even stronger. One day, the third-year students organize an underground fighting event. Nat takes charge of managing the bets and keeping track of the results. During the event, Beck teaches the hero how to properly analyze a fight. He explains that a fighter's footwork often reveals their next move before it happens. Beck places a bet on one of the competitors, and they end up winning a decent amount of money. Afterward, Beck decides that the hero should learn how to defend himself. He starts training him and teaches him how to throw accurate straight punches. The hero takes the training seriously because he now feels responsible for protecting both his friends and his class. At the same time, the friendship between Fatty and the hero becomes stronger than ever. The two spend most of their time together. One day, while joking around and enjoying themselves, the hero and Fatty enter a room and immediately notice a group of third-year seniors waiting for them. The seniors claim that Beck disrespected them the day before. They have come to deliver a warning and remind the younger students of their place. The leader of the group is a student named Go. He appears calm and confident on the surface. In reality, he is simply looking for an excuse to target Fatty. Unlike Beck, Fatty prefers to avoid conflict whenever possible. He politely says, "Brother, we don't want any trouble. Please let this matter go." However, Go has no intention of listening. Before leaving, he delivers a threat and makes it clear that the issue is not over. Later, while walking through the school, Fatty accidentally bumps into another senior student. The senior immediately becomes angry and accuses him of being disrespectful. Once again, Fatty tries to avoid a confrontation. However, Beck has a completely different approach. He steps forward and throws a powerful punch straight at the senior's face. Then, he laughs and boldly challenges them. "Go ahead and gather every second-year and third-year student if you want." The hero quickly rushes forward and tries to stop the seniors from attacking his friend. At that moment, the other first-year students begin cheering him on. They encourage him to stand up to the seniors and not back down. Feeling pressured by the crowd, the hero nervously throws a punch. To everyone's surprise, the punch lands perfectly and sends the senior crashing to the ground. The entire first-year class erupts in excitement. Within moments, the school is on the verge of turning into a battlefield. Just then, the class teacher arrives and immediately puts an end to the chaos. He scolds everyone for turning the school into a fighting arena. As punishment, he gathers all the troublemakers together and begins disciplining them with a stick. When it is Fatty's turn, the teacher tells him to relax and stop tensing his body. However, Fatty tightens his muscles so much that every strike from the stick simply bounces back. After several failed attempts, the exhausted teacher finally gives up. "That's enough," he says. "I'm the one getting tired here." At this point, the first-year students have formed a group of 6 brave boys who are willing to stand against the third-year seniors. However, an unexpected announcement soon shocks everyone. Beck suddenly reveals that he wants to leave the school. The news leaves everyone stunned. No one can understand why he made such a sudden decision. After Beck's departure, only the hero and Fatty remain at the center of the first-year group. Fatty continues living his carefree lifestyle. He spends most of his time eating, relaxing, and enjoying himself. Whenever the hero feels upset about Beck leaving, Fatty tries to cheer him up and reminds him to focus on the friendships they still have. He even makes silly jokes to lighten the mood, often causing the hero to run away in embarrassment. Meanwhile, the unofficial fighting competitions between the first-year and third-year students begin again. The seniors lure younger students with money and encourage them to participate. Fatty tries to stop them and warns everyone not to get involved. Unfortunately, the seniors ignore his advice. The match begins, and one of the first-year students appears to be winning. However, when the seniors realize they might lose, they start fighting unfairly and gang up on him. Seeing this, Fatty becomes angry and prepares to step in. Before he can do anything, the hero stops him and warns that getting involved will only create more problems. Despite his large size, Fatty has a kind heart. He always stands up for weaker students and helps his friends whenever they need him. At the same time, the hero begins developing feelings for a girl at school. One day, he notices a group of seniors bothering her. Although he wants to step in and help, fear prevents him from taking action. The girl eventually leaves, and the hero is left feeling frustrated and angry with himself. Later, he approaches Fatty and suggests that they finally confront the seniors. However, Fatty refuses. He explains that he only wants to finish his studies peacefully and graduate without getting involved in unnecessary conflicts. One day, while Fatty is resting, the hero comes up with a new plan. He decides that he wants to become a leader among the first-year students. He begins telling everyone, "If any senior gives you trouble, come directly to me." Before long, several first-year students gather around him. Encouraged by their support, he starts challenging the seniors with bold words and confident behavior. To his surprise, some of the seniors hesitate to respond. This convinces the hero that his strategy is working. Gradually, he begins to see himself as one of the most influential students in the school. The The situation escalates when Go, a powerful third-year senior, openly challenges him. The hero immediately prepares to charge at him. Fortunately, his friends stop him before things get completely out of control. When Fatty learns about the hero's actions, he becomes extremely upset. Fatty had always wanted to avoid unnecessary fights and keep everyone safe. However, the hero completely misunderstands his intentions. In anger, he calls Fatty a coward and accuses him of talking big without ever taking action. From that moment on, the hero refuses to recognize Fatty as his leader. The argument creates a serious divide between them, and their friendship begins to fall apart. Heartbroken by the situation, Fatty stops speaking to the hero altogether. Later, when a teacher notices the hero's injuries and asks what happened, he once again takes a jab at Fatty. He says that getting hurt while standing up for yourself is better than avoiding every fight, no matter how strong someone may seem. However, the hero's attitude soon begins to change after he witnesses Fatty's true character. Not long afterward, a major tragedy strikes the hero's family. While working, his father is involved in a serious accident and suffers severe injuries. As a result, the hero stops coming to school for several days. He spent his time working hard to help cover his father's medical expenses. Sitting alone, he wonders why life continues to test him with one hardship after another. When Fatty learns about the hero's situation, he immediately puts aside all the resentment between them. He gathers his 4 closest friends and says, "Our friend is going through a difficult time. We have to help him." The 5 friends begin working wherever they can earn money. They work so hard that they often fall asleep during class to save every possible penny. They even share meals instead of buying separate food. After days of hard work and sacrifice, they finally collect enough money. They hand the money over to the hero so his father can receive proper treatment. When the hero returns to school and learns everything Fatty and his friends did for him, he is deeply moved. At that moment, he realizes that Fatty is not just a strong student, but also someone with an incredibly kind heart. The hero sincerely thanks all of them for their support. As a result, their friendship becomes stronger than ever. The group begins spending time together again, laughing, joking, and enjoying school life. The very next day, the hero is having coffee with his friends when he accidentally spills it on a third-year senior. The senior, a bald and short-tempered student, immediately becomes furious. He demands that the hero buy him a new shirt right away. The hero apologizes and tries to calm the situation. However, instead of accepting the apology, the seniors begin mocking and provoking him. Their constant insults eventually cause him to lose his temper. Frustrated and angry, he throws a punch at the bald senior. Unfortunately, the punch has very little effect. The seniors quickly surround him and begin beating him relentlessly. Just when the situation seems hopeless, Fatty arrives. He steps forward and shouts, "Leave my friend alone." The seniors respond, "Your friend started this. If you want to settle it, come to the field tomorrow." Fatty stares at them and replies, "Why wait until tomorrow? Let's settle it right now." The hero becomes nervous because the seniors greatly outnumber them. However, Fatty has finally grown tired of the constant bullying and intimidation. He turns toward his friends and asks, "Are you all with me?" Without hesitation, they answer together, "Yes." A small group of brave first-year students immediately stands beside Fatty. As they move toward the confrontation, several troublemakers try to block their path. However, after seeing Fatty's confidence and determination, many of them lose their courage and step aside. Some even choose to support Fatty's group. Soon, both sides gather outside the city for a final showdown. Fatty steps forward and declares, "Today we end this rivalry once and for all." Moments later, a fierce fight erupts. The battle is intense as both groups give everything they have. In the end, the decisive confrontation comes down to Fatty and Go. After a long and exhausting exchange, Fatty lands a powerful punch that sends Go crashing to the ground. The first-year students emerge victorious. Following the victory, everyone celebrates and enjoys the moment together. Before leaving, the hero stops Fatty and says, "Brother, stay here tonight. It may not be safe to travel alone. Some seniors may still be looking for revenge." However, Fatty ignores the warning and leaves by himself. A short time later, devastating news reaches the group. Fatty's sister arrives in tears and reveals what happened. According to her, a group of third-year seniors found Fatty alone and attacked him with sticks. The assault was so brutal that Fatty had to be rushed to the hospital. Now he lies unconscious in a coma, fighting for his life. Fatty's girlfriend and his friends are completely devastated by the news. The hero is overwhelmed with anger. He goes to the police station and demands justice for his friend. However, the police explain that there is not enough evidence to take action against the attackers. Feeling helpless and frustrated, the hero breaks down in tears. Seeing his condition, one of the officers feels sympathy for him and offers him some food. While eating, the hero makes a promise to himself. He declares that if the law cannot help his friend, he will find a way to seek justice on his own. Later, the hero visits Fatty in the hospital. He sits beside his unconscious friend and brings him boiled eggs, hoping that one day Fatty will wake up and eat them. Every day, he prays for his friend's recovery. As time passes, the hero begins confronting the third-year seniors one by one. During his search for answers, he finally learns the real reason Beck left school. His mother had been seriously ill, and he desperately needed money for her treatment. The seniors took advantage of his situation and offered him money in exchange for fighting against Fatty and the hero. However, there was an even bigger secret hidden behind everything. Fatty had known about Beck's situation from the very beginning. Instead of exposing him, Fatty chose to help his friend. He intentionally allowed Beck to defeat him so Beck could earn the money needed for his mother's treatment. During the fight between Fatty and Beck, several seniors attacked Fatty from behind with a wooden stick. The blow struck his head and left him critically injured. That attack eventually led to the coma he now suffers from. Later, the seniors approach Beck once again. This time, they offer him money to fight the hero. A match is arranged between the two students. Because Beck is an experienced fighter, he quickly gains the upper hand. The hero struggles to keep up and takes several hard hits. However, during the fight, Beck secretly signals to him. Beck is not actually trying to win the match. In the final moments, he deliberately allows the hero to defeat him. He accepts the loss so the hero can unite the first-year students and become their leader. When the seniors realize what Beck has done, they become furious. They immediately launch an attack on everyone present. At that moment, the entire first-year group arrives to support the hero. Even a few seniors who are tired of the constant bullying decide to stand by his side. A final confrontation soon begins. The hero challenges Go directly. Go is a powerful opponent and quickly gains the upper hand. At one point, he slams the hero's face into the ground. Despite the punishment, the hero refuses to surrender. He gets back up and continues fighting. The hero then lands a fierce headbutt that breaks Go's nose. He follows it with one final punch. The powerful hit sends Go crashing to the ground. The fight is finally over. The first-year students emerge victorious. Everyone recognizes the hero as the new leader of the first-year students. However, he chooses not to divide people by grade levels. Instead, he brings together both first-year and third-year students into one united group. The students who were once divided now stand together as friends. With their differences behind them, the group becomes stronger than ever before. Now the hero and his entire team are ready to face whatever challenges come.